If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is October the 11th, 2023, and today the topic is spiritual adultery. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wednesday. I hope that you all enjoyed your day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, mine was just fine overall. I was just trying to sit here and think of what things of significance happened yesterday this year. Well, yeah, I guess a couple of things happened. I was still working on some freelance work. Hopefully some more potential things are on the horizon, you know, helping out a couple of people with their books. At least I talked to a couple of people yesterday, so that sounds good. Actually, a prophetess was speaking over my life about the dreams and visions, and lo and behold, your girl did have quite a few yesterday or last night. So, and one of them is the inspiration for today's juice. So we'll talk about that in a second. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that happened yesterday? Trying to think that I feel. Oh, I had that meeting. I had the meeting with my dating coaching client. So unfortunately, I think some things have changed. I won't get too deep or whatever the case may be. But you know, it's good that the client was moving forward and, you know, taking the things that was learned and things of that nature. So still yet praying. Speaking of dating, man, y'all know that we have a new show concept, or at least you should know, in the works, and all we need is you, friends. So if you are single and looking, and especially if you're a believer or something like that, then y'all send your information to us for Virtue Date, okay? Y'all know how I feel about my single folk and everything like that. So if I could be of any assistance to you, and then you guys can participate in the show and things of that nature, just email me. Email us at godsexandlove@gmail.com. All you gotta do is send your name, your age, and your location. And then just send us a video. You know, introducing yourself and what your desires are and may be. And hey, man, you never know. We might just match make you and hook you up with, you know, the love of your life. And everything like that. So it's a new concept that we want to bring to the GSL platform. So by all means, like I said, just email us at godsexandlove@gmail.com. And let's see what the Lord do, y'all. But anywho, yeah, man, I guess that's it for yesterday. So let's get into this juice this morning, y'all. Spiritual adultery. All right. So as I said earlier, I did have quite a few dreams last night. I feel like I woke up a couple of times and I did make note of those times, but I didn't pay attention to any of that this morning because by the time I woke up for the second time or possibly third time, the only thing I really was thinking about was my dream. And then I guess God, you know, pointed me in the direction he wanted me to be real quick before I got in my feelings. All right. So, like I said, a lot of the things I remember from my dreams last night were interesting, but I guess the main one to tell you guys is the one that led me to this conversation of spiritual adultery. So the main thing that I remember in the last dream that I had was that me and my husband was somewhere. We wasn't in our home. We was somewhere. And all I know is, I guess he confessed or shared with me that he had provided a sexual service to someone else, or another woman, and uh, and I think I was processing it. It's like I went to another room and I was kind of giving him silent treatment, and I was kind of just processing the information. And then ultimately, before I woke up, there was a couple of questions that was in my heart and mind that I think I might have texted him one of the questions. And that question was, why would you do that? And then to go even deeper about that question, the secondary question that was coming into my heart and mind, at least before I woke up, was, why would you deprive me but freely please another? And then to go even deeper about that, because as I wrote that down this morning, I was reminded that I guess my mind was going a little bit deeper about it. And the question was also asking, and then you share the news with me as if I shouldn't or wouldn't have any feelings or reaction to the news. Because it was like you kind of shared it in almost a proud way, to be honest. It was almost like, oh, I did this type of thing. I guess because he might have got some good feedback from whatever sexual favor he did. And I just was like, why would he do that? And then, and so I wake up this morning, and obviously, before I could even get in my feelings and ask myself, like, would my husband do that? The Lord put in my heart and mind about our relationship with him. And obviously that shifted the entire conversation, from, again, a personal relationship between me and my husband to again, a deeper way of thinking about how we treat God, because he could be asking us, why are we doing this? He could be feeling like we are depriving him from the things, but then we go and freely give it to another, and then, I mean, go even deeper about it. And what's being revealed to me in this moment is, yes, he too could also be asking the question, why would we, do these things so blatantly, so boldly, so pridefully, right? And expect that he wouldn't have any feelings or reaction. Why do we do God this way? Listen, that's the juice. I could just go ahead and just sign off now, because honestly, that right there by itself is a lot to think about and let marinate on our hearts, souls, and minds this morning. But I do have a couple of verses and whatnot to share. But yeah, even that right there alone is pretty deep if you really, truly, truly think about it. But let me share some of these verses that were standing out to me. So James 4:4, it says, "You adulterous people, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever..." I don't know what that word is, so sorry, but whoever does something to be a friend of, maybe it's desires or wishes. It could be wishes. Whoever wishes to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God. My apologies for jumbling that up, but I think y'all get the point and the gist. This is just one of the, one of the plethora of places where God refers to our treatment to him as adultery, and things of that nature. Yeah, he's talking about Israel and whatnot as well, but at the same time, we know that, again, as this is saying here, maybe we don't know, but what he's letting us know is friendship with the world is enmity to God, or enmity with God. When I looked up the word enmity, this is what it says: the state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. So this is what we are being to God when we choose to be a quote unquote friend to the world, or when we choose to, put anything above God, or be adulterous, spiritual, any of those things. So it's just by default. Everything like that. I know I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she, also, I don't know if she just received the revelation, but she mentioned yesterday that, Basically, anything, belief in Jesus, whatever the case may be, the opposite is the opposite. It's antichrist, or it's you're an enemy of God by default if you choose to not be a child of God. If you choose not to believe, if you choose not to accept the forgiveness and grace and mercy and everything that God has done for us and everything like that. So I don't know. How is this making you all feel today? Are you feeling like you a friend or a foe of God? Are you, committing enmity by default, or are you, being a faithful partner, servant, however you want to look at it to be? You guys can ask yourself those questions, but here's another verse. It's 2 Corinthians 11:2. It says, "For I feel a divine jealousy for you, since I betrothed you to one husband to present you as a pure virgin to Christ." I mean, listen, the interesting thing is, man, every time I see this word jealousy, when it's in reference to God saying that he's jealous for us and things of that nature, I unfortunately keep thinking about that quote from Oprah, how she don't believe in a God that's jealous of her. And, I know we addressed that before here on the Juice. Oprah, God is not jealous of you. He's jealous for you. There's a difference and everything like that. But anywho, that's a whole nother conversation. This just is saying here, again, he feels a divine jealousy for us because he betrothed us to one husband, which is Christ. As any one would feel, again, if you are betrothed to someone, again, my dream had me a little bit in my feelings about my husband. It's just a dream because he is mine, right? And I am his. And so if he's going off and giving anything that belongs to me to someone else, of course I'd feel away. Of course, there would be some, I guess, jealousy or whatever the case may be there. So again, let's just ask ourselves, where are we today? Where are we when it comes to our relationship with God? Are we adding to God's jealousy for us by committing spiritual adultery, by putting anything and everything else above him? Or are we being, a good and faithful, partner, wife, spouse, but however you want to see yourself in a relationship with the Lord, child, are we being faithful or are we being adulterous? I mean, that is the question. You guys can go deeper about these things. Plenty of verses in the go deeper section. There is actually an article at gotquestions.org centered all around this, and it's called "What is Spiritual Adultery?" Just in case you need a little bit more information or you need to go deeper about the concept. Perhaps I didn't give, a detailed description today or help to understand. So by all means, go check that out at gotquestions.org if you so feel led to do. But this is ultimately the juice this morning, I guess, to just remind us all that, we do have a Heavenly Father that is jealous for us, and that, we should be treating with the utmost respect. We should be treating with giving all glory and honor to. If we're putting anything above him, it doesn't matter if it's our family, friends, spouse, job, or if we carve out an idol. If you're putting anything before God, then technically you're out of order. Yeah, I mean, you guys can go deeper about this wherever you are in your personal life, but hey, that's the juice. This is the juice today. Now, the Bible verse of today is Mark 8:35. It says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Did you know that you can support us for just 99 cents a month?
That's right, friends. You can support everything that we do here at GSL for just 99 cents a month. Take a look around wherever this post is. You might see a link or maybe even a button that says support. Go there, check out the options, consider supporting us because, we enjoy bringing you all the daily inspiration as well as the weekly talk show, but we have much, much more to come. Thank you so much for the consideration. Bye bye.